Okay, and so my plan is to discuss the moves, and then whenever we want, I will just bring up KataGo now, right?
Good. Thanks.
But ask questions whenever you are interested in something, right? I was quite nervous at the beginning of the game, even though it was friendly game. Now, even though this move looks very normal, I felt some pressure. I thought your plan was to play this way here. And then say that this exchange A for B is good for you, because if it was played in another order, right, I would have played... Yeah, if we play just this one, then after this up play here, right, immediately, and aim at this weakness. So I thought you were going for this, so actually I didn't know what to do to avoid it. So finally my plan was to not play 2 here, to play tenuki. So why did you connect, if I can ask?
Because I didn't see the other one. I just didn't see it. But as soon as you show it to me, I can see it's better.
Okay, yeah, so so actually I felt a bit under pressure, and here I was a little relieved that actually when it went like this, now I think my stone here is not in such a bad spot.
I agree. Yeah, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I think this is good move. I think I have to play here. Yeah, now this gets very messy, right? This fight.
Yeah, I wanted to make a 2-point jump, but I thought it was too dangerous.
Yeah, I expected 2-point jump. All right. What was the variation you were afraid of? Some kind of cut also, or?
It all looked just a little bit too flaky. I wanted to be strong and attack you. And I thought I had if I want to attack you from the other side, from the right-hand side, I would have to be really strong, but I just didn't have the courage in my convictions.
Yeah, because in this variation, I actually have no idea where to jump here as white, which of these 3. Because I want to put pressure on your group on the left, so naturally I would play A, but you can get much stronger by a move around this area, right? Or maybe even some combination with this. Because now number 1 is breaking the ladder, this one, right? So this is actually scary. And if you get stronger, then suddenly 2 is going to be too close to your strong group. So then I can play on the other side, but I don't put any pressure on you. And if I play B, it's just, the move in the middle. Usually not the best one. So here I would struggle where to play, really. After this jump, I felt like I can play here very easily because I'm connected and I have clear continuation at A if I want to continue. I don't know what I would do. I guess I would play A, but I'm not sure. So if you want, we can take a look at this in KataGo, just out of interest. Yeah, so it looks like KataGo dislike this shape, yes, but it's because I would tenuki now. It could go this way. So this is similar, then I have to answer. And black plays here. I guess it's fine. I kick. You jump. You pincer. Yeah, it's best move. I also like it. And my move is a little suspicious, but I guess it's possible. And your move is best. Look, it's really too thin, this one. Oh, interesting. And so I should play... Oh, either this. It's very hard to understand this move from below, right?
I can understand that, Harney. I felt it was a move that I expected you to want to play again and again and again.
Oh, really? This one?
Yeah.
I felt like I'm just making myself weak here.
Well, not really.
So yeah, so it's 1-point difference, and I think, yeah, nobody made really a big mistake. So I guess it's possible. I think this is fine. Then the Takemiya move came, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
No bad, it doesn't have a score.
So let's come back, before we analyze the Takemiya, let's come back to the game. Actually, I realized one thing that can be interesting to say maybe for other people is the difference between this move and this move here. Actually, if black plays here, white can play elsewhere. But if black connects, as Harry did, white has to answer. And the secret of why it's working this way is that if black connects solidly in this way, then later he can pressure white in the corner and play an even stronger move, this double hane. And it's quite a problem because this way black can manage to be on both sides and it's quite fine. Whereas if black protects with this one, then if black tenuki, it's much harder to play this double hane because there will be an atari here. I guess this is why KataGo likes this one better, because it forces me to answer. I think it's the logic of AI here. Probably it was all fine that we played. I think in professional games they usually play here. This move is better, so Harry found a very good move. And now this one. Can you tell us a bit about your thoughts here?
Well, I knew that the honest move was jumping at f8, and then I'm much connected through on the left, and then we just have whatever happens in the center. I'm not too worried about. I could have a choice whether on the right edge or the top edge. Probably the right edge, I would guess. You can't put a lot of pressure on me, and I've got some weakness in your group. So I knew that was the honest move, but I thought if I cap you, then maybe you can force me to connect up to my group on the left, which would be a plus for me. And you did. I played that one. Right. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I wondered whether I should push once before playing the knight's move. But I thought, no, I can play the knight's move because I've got the funny move at d5. Yeah, that one later to sort of protect myself if you tried pushing through and cutting or whatever. So I wasn't too worried. This is all very ugly. I give you solid territory, yeah. And now I'm sure that I should push and cut because anything else is just cowardly. But I didn't like my position here.
I think here my idea was very clear. I just wanted to split you. And then I think if I manage to have a strong group here, then I will be very happy because this stone will not be very good. So I guess your cut here is needed because if you play, as you said, anything else, and I just become connected and strong in the center, it's so good for white. So I expected this cut. I think here on the bottom left, the position is very complicated. Because you can, instead of this move, how about you play in the corner?
Yeah, I thought that was a bit early because if you descend now, I have to cut. Now what white do? White plays the nose attach or something, does he?
You mean attach on c2, like here?
Maybe, does that work?
Maybe, but for instance, you can then play up here. Sacrifice, for example, if I just capture, then it's very good shape for black. I think it's not easy. This is one thing that black has here, this speed. Then second thing, for example, in your variation here, you can theoretically also someday play a move like this. And if I protect, then this peep can become something.
I thought that one didn't work. I didn't read it out, but I thought that it was just too far away.
Yeah, because now probably I can block. But this peep is another like tool that black can use. So actually, even though this guy is trying to put black under pressure, I think black should be okay here. Yeah. But I would probably try to fight with this invasion, I think, or maybe start with the peep. Is my feeling. But it's very hard.
Then if you block on the inside, then I've got the connection to the right-hand corner available whenever I want it.
Like this, you mean?
Yeah, well, I've got that, and now you don't want to add another stone to capture the single stone. Yes, I hadn't thought of playing with peep first.
It's very complicated position, because also you don't want to give me the corner too big, right? So, how about this? So actually, it looks like this move is not preferred by KataGo, but it loses only 0.7 points. So it means it's quite a good move. And my move is maybe a little bit soft here. I could try to lean on your left stones. I don't like this kind of moves usually because this exchange locally is so good for black. So if I don't gain anything from the attack, it's a big minus. So it feels like I'm paying you in advance and I'm not sure if you are going to return the money to me. I wasn't thinking about this at all. And so KataGo actually says you could just push and just play like this and it's even. Oh, this is very surprising to me. How do you feel about this?
I would hate this.
Right, because the black stone in the middle, I mean, it's not really attacking me at this point.
It's just a ladder breaker for ladders that aren't there.
I am very surprised this is so good. It's even, it's totally even now.
It seems to be good. That one that it showed is good because it against the Hane, I guess. I think that's my feeling, isn't it? That's what it's doing.
Yes, because you can still cut me here if you played. So that's why. So this is interesting. So that means, and if I answer just very softly here, then I guess my shape is not so good. You have a very good wall and you can still do something to me in the corner. This is interesting. This is a good move. I didn't realize it's there at all. So back to the game. So I would say maybe because you gave me the corner here a bit too easily, that maybe
Oh gosh, suddenly my score has dropped.
suddenly white is ahead by Komi about. I think it's because in this variation you don't really use the agi in the corner nor the peep to its fullest. And now that I have this fortress here, I can also later use the agis as in the game. White should really play this. You said was white would descend and you would cut? Oh, actually, see, descent is very bad move, it seems. 3 points, but it's so difficult to change,
Yeah.
right? So if this happens, yeah, you can either block strongly or just play teaching style, as I said. And it's good shape, too good. But I can maybe connect here somehow. But again, you extend. So let's just check this variation till it makes a little bit sense for us. So black played 2 empty triangles, and it's very good for black. So maybe the empty triangles are the way to go in the end. Yeah, this is very difficult for a human to play like this. It's just too complex. But probably it seems like black will have the advantage in this fight, whatever happens, kind of. So maybe he can play like this, even if he doesn't choose the perfect variations. So when I'm actually in this position, when I'm black, I'm really afraid I'm gonna die. And when I'm white, I'm really afraid I'm gonna die. I think it's that type of variations. So actually, I thought you were gonna go for it, as I have studied your games.
Normally I might have done, but I thought I was going to try and play reasonably, and this seemed a reasonable move, and I got sent in.
Here, I split, and oh, see, it still wants to cut here. I completely missed this. Yeah, but it's almost not a mistake. So I think it's very good. And now comes my overplay. I thought so. So let's come back to the real board for a while, so that we are not confused by AI. So after this cut, did you expect me to extend or to Atari here?
You go to play Atari.
Oh, you thought this?
Yeah. That's all my groups. But then you get very strong, I suppose. So, and again, oh no, this is awful. Yes, yes.
Awful for black, you think?
Yeah.
I thought it was going too easy on you, because now I never get to use this weakness that I really wanted to use. But if we just look at the left side, if you don't take into account the right side, I have 2 very big corners. You have territory I can still reduce, and I have a wall. So I guess it can more than compensate your Hoshis here, probably.
I wouldn't like this. You're very strong. That stone 5 there is very strong. These weaknesses at 03, and I've got stones on 4-4, which doesn't mean territory. I've got big influence, and I've got these stones on 4-4, and top right and bottom right. So you've got 2 solid corners. I've got a bit of a good-sized edge at the upper centre left, and it's your centre. So I think much better to be white.
I agree. I think I lost psychologically here, because in this game you already played 2 cool moves, like this Takemiya cap and now this cut. So I didn't want to be like the chicken that never does anything in the game and just plays strong moves. So I felt like I have to counterattack also.
Should I have simply connected here?
Now it's difficult for both. Actually, I was a little afraid of this push, and then if you peep here, if you can't somehow surround me completely and actually kill me.
Oh, I see. It goes straight ahead. Yes, now a knight's move after that.
So I was afraid of this variation, actually. I thought it should be okay, because you also have some weaknesses, right?
Yes, I mean, A is the thing that's a very obvious weakness. C is less worrying. A is big, and that playing at D12 with a 1-point jump from 4 is a strong move that protects the weakness of white playing. Mm-hmm. So white can play at A with impunity. And of course, with white jumps to F14, the cut doesn't work now, does it? Playing at H12, but it doesn't do anything, does it? If white extends now, what's the result? Now white pushes through and cuts. Black defends, and now white pushes through and cuts. Yeah, black's all right on both sides, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, but you pointed out this move or something in this area is kind of center.
And now you play at C12 straight away.
Maybe, if you peep.
Okay, yes.
Well, I can sacrifice these guys if I somehow cut off these guys, right? The more I'm looking at it, I think I should start with D9 to ask you, how are you going to play? And then I adapt my play.
I don't think this is all that good for black, actually.
It's very messy. still, I mean, we are 20 moves in this variation and it's still not super clear, right? So probably black can fight somehow also. So this is what I was afraid of. So I am not sure if you have to connect, as you said. You said just here, right?
It's difficult for you to attack, and now your stone below are weaker than they were when I played.
Yes, and something like this is not very interesting for white.
No.
Just neutral points. So actually, what would I do? Maybe it's a very good move. I guess I have to do this.
Yeah. And then you've got plenty of liberties. I have plenty of liberties, and now I attack your stones underneath. But then you just jump out, don't you?
Yes, it was my plan. I would like to cut, but I think it's overplay now because I'm way too weak here. So my plan was to jump, yes. But yeah, something like this I have to answer here, I guess. So according to what we say, one should be maybe better move, right, than the push. So let's see what AI will teach us. Are we right or are we wrong? So of course now I'm going to make a huge mistake.
Yeah.
So yeah, minus 25% and minus 6 points. So this was big overplay from me. But KataGo seems to like this one better.
3 is the continuation.
If I jump, it wants to play here, yeah.
Yes, that's turquoise one at D9 now. Why did that not play there straight away?
This is a little bit insane to me. I know there was a professional game I reviewed 10 years ago or something, and the professional played this shape, like 3 Kosumis in the row, and the commentary was, if he was going to win this game would be legendary, because this is such a bad shape usually, but he lost, so not many remember it. I think black is a little weak here, because to this is a problem, but probably he can fight. And we said our variation was to peep here, but I don't have to answer this.
No, you don't, no.
Just play here and even not answer this and go for some kind of trade. So in that case, if you really have to protect, I guess it's wiser. And if we put the connection, KataGo is so brave to play Keima here. Yeah, I know you would cut me like this, so why would I do it? And again, this is our flaw in the thinking, right? We thought black can play here, but probably white can counterattack. And in that case, if you have to go back and I get to jump, then already it's not clear if it's better to connect or to push, I think.
At least that all my stones on the left are safe. So I've only got one very weak group, and you've got 2 groups that can be slightly attacked in the middle, but that's it. But my stones are just shockingly damaged. Those 3 stones in the middle are not there. Just push me around and I defend myself. You run to keep attacking me. You destroy my lower right corner.
It's something I would be hoping for, but I'm also a bit weak. Let's go back to the game for a while. Okay, so you pushed, I extended, and so you protected, so your move was right on point. I played here, you played here, so I played this fancy move. So how many points do you think I lost according to KataGo? Do you think it's a good move or not?
It looks like it's a bad move, but it's only good if black plays at h12. And then it ends up being a good move.
I would play here, right? And you cannot really cut me because whenever I want I can wedge here. So you can't play this. So where should I play? I guess normal move would be to play here, right? And then maybe double hane. But then I thought you are going to do this. And what next?
Well, you play the Chipatari and then play the knight's move at g14.
You just jump?
Now all those weaknesses, d9, d12, means it would be difficult for black to disconnect white.
So you think you cannot play this extension just here?
Well, one of the things I was always worried about for a long time, by the way, is white playing at d7.
Yes, you have to play here, don't you?
Even that, it may not be very good advice. But now this is tricky, isn't it? White not push first at 12.
Like this, right?
Still doesn't help, does it?
This was my point when later I played here. Normally you would like to play this.
I can't.
Because maybe now this peep will start to be more difficult to handle. So this is what I was actually looking after in the game also. To this, if you just connect, I will simply cut you. So these stones die and it's game over. So you have to play from behind. But then if I prepare it somehow in a clever way around here, then maybe I can counter this 10. But so as of now, I think this one somehow maybe holds the position still. So you would play to come back here, and I would probably capture and just play like this teaching style. This doesn't look bad for black, so maybe no need to extend. So what else can white do? So this was my dilemma, no good moves. So I can also play what seems to be natural and just to attach here. But then, Johanne?
Now can't you play the cut?
It's a good question. I don't know. I thought not. But I wasn't sure. I was considering the cut. But your two stones in the middle, even though they are big, actually, if you just live here and then break through here, it's not so easy for white also. So I discarded the cut. So this is why, after all of these thoughts, I played this special move.
Minus how many points? How many points did you lose with that?
Yeah. So let's guess. So what do you think, people? Was it a good move or was it a bad move? So make up your mind. You don't hear it.
Minus 25.
Minus 25 points or
I wouldn't have
percent?
said minus at all if you hadn't told me it was a bad move.
Maybe it's not a bad move. We will see.
Yeah.
Minus 5 is what I would guess, something like that.
Minus 5 points.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so let's see. So if I play the best move here or somewhere, I'm leading by 3 points. And after this, by 2 points, so only 1 point. So it was not so bad. But after we made this exchange, it seems like I gained some point. Because I guess I managed to get the same height as you by this combination. Whereas in the variations before, I was always the one behind you. Ah, of course, you can play here. This would be annoying, right? I mean, me and Harry, we were thinking just about this move, but actually this move is much better, because after this, white is still cut.
I see what you're saying, yes. Then you play Hane.
Well, sometimes you've got to do it and play the empty triangle.
Now you just play a 1-point jump or a knight's move, F14, or better still, play E13.
What?
All right.
Seems like black can break through.
So intuitively, white has got an L shape and a stone inside some quite strong black groups. It feels like the white stones should die.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so too. This weakness here will play a role in the fight, like big role. But as you said, to me it feels like white is toast. So this is very good move. So I always forget about this. Yeah, because this way black is saying I will never play here. Because if black gets this move, then white can always make some kind of niújīn between cutting here and cutting below. But by attaching here, he's saying I'm never ever gonna play there. This is fantastic. I'm happy we're reviewed just for this. So this is why my move was bad.
1 point bad.
Yeah, 1 point bad, yes. Yeah, this one also I'm curious. But this is such a bad shape. This cannot be right. I have to connect, right?
If you push, I push, I've got the push along the top at G14.
Yeah, I guess so.
I've got
Yeah, something like this, right?
both pushes are good for me, I think.
These guys are getting weaker, but you don't have to do it now, right? You can save it for later, and my shape is bad. So I really hope KataGo is not going to show that this is better, because I would be sad. And then you attack here. So I think this is very interesting point of the game. I was expecting this schema.
Yeah, so was I at first. And then I thought that I could play a forcing move with that, and it would destroy your shape. And I might still be able to threaten the connection underneath with the back stone at G2 later, or the peak at J3, or of course the hanging connection at G2 with a threat to do all of that other stuff that might give me an eye. Now I've destroyed your shape, I've got a chance of threatening to break through and separate the two halves of your group. Keep me in the driving seat, but not quite.
I thought for a while there how to handle it, but I think after this variation happened, it must have gotten better for white, right?
Yeah.
Like in this combination, you kind of lost the peep, and yeah, I got the stronger shape.
I'd seen this far, and I thought, you're not going to play that. As I've got the Atari, and that's 3 moves, and I should have read it. You get the lovely squeeze play, and I think you did better out of this than I was expecting.
So the question is, if you had played here, how different would it be? I think this is very annoying move. It's the same kind of annoyance as when I played the wéiqí, right? This one. It's like saying your only choice is to cut, because if you push from behind, what are you doing with your life? But in this situation, I cannot actually cut. It's super complicated. I don't know how to handle this properly as white. So I guess to this I have to go outside, but you know, even later there will be some agi around here. So now if you make just this exchange and jump here, compared to the game, white's eye shape is non-existent, right? So I think like this actually it can be good for black, kind of, or very, very hard. Always depending on this thing. So let's see what KataGo thinks about this. So please peep, be correct. Yes, so there are still some things that. Okay, and now I guess these moves, it doesn't matter when you play. Yeah, to this I would need to jump, and you would jump, and then wants to start this complicated fight. Yeah, so this is really annoying, I guess, because then I can peep. You can somehow withstand my pressure, but your shape is terrible, right? Losing some small points. But you handled here in this variation. My group is not so strong, because in Go it's not only points, right? It's who is stronger on the board that it matters more, I think. And here it looks like 50-50. So this way, even though KataGo is showing it's like 10 points, for humans it's very close game actually. But after this one, you should tenuki probably, but you haven't seen the hane yet. And after this hane, I think it got very good for me. This variation, yes. I just played very safe. So actually, at this point, after the squeeze, I was feeling I'm doing quite well, of course. But what happened next scared me. So I thought for so long I wanted to attach here and do this kind of thing. But I was afraid that if I play this way, you actually can connect, and it's not clear if I have some good combination here. I didn't see much. But also I realized, actually, this move is center for you, this too. After this, I have to connect whatever will work here. It means it's very hard for me to invade in this area at all because of this descent that black has, this one. So I was a bit at loss, and actually after this squeeze, I wanted to attack you somehow, because I felt strong. But then I thought, well, I will just defend because this M2 is too good. And I said, okay, so now I'm safe. And the next thing Harry does is this. I was like, what? If we look at this variation, I think it turned out very good for you. What do you think?
Yes, I was happy. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get anything.
Why did you play that? Why didn't you just jump to, something like 03?
I thought it's lame.
That's the threat to do the same thing, surely.
Yeah, so my thinking here was, after this cut, I could play here right away and keep all of this agi, that for example, someday I can play this one. But now I've made this exchange for this, that's absolutely horrible. I couldn't bring myself to just come back and be like, yes, my last 3 moves didn't make sense. And yeah, I know this is very wrong of me, but I felt like I have to at least continue with the plan. And also I didn't realize this move was so good.
Well, it's about stopping you capturing my single stone, which is an important stone because it's going to threaten to play the cut. It's going to make a few points of territory. It's going to threaten to connect up with my group at the bottom left. All sorts of nice things, I thought. If I play the hane, you can cut straight away. If instead of that, I play the hane, you just cut straight away.
Yes, I think this would be too much. But after this move, I really have no move. As I said, this M2 is center. So you will always manage to get this, or if there is some problem in the corner. So actually, your shape is next to my wall, and I need to use this wall to attack, but I cannot, because you managed to play it from both sides so effectively. So this was really impressive to me, how you managed here.
Still I'm behind, right?
I'm not so sure. How should I have played? I thought about playing like this. Just make bombos. So this, I guess you have no choice, right? I mean, you can pull here, but I don't know if it's to your benefit.
It's better to capture and leave the cutting down the cutting point.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and now I'm not sure where to play as white. Maybe I can just play here also.
Yeah, that seems quite good.
Something like this. So I considered the variation, some kind of variation like this, but I wasn't too happy either because your middle group is fine and your corner is fine, and I was hoping to get more out of my strong shape. Do you have any idea or of how I should have played to this? And probably the last variation was better than the game for me, I think.
Yes, I think your standing first in the crosscut was correct, and you played on the right side. That's my feeling. And now, almost any move you can attach now at B4. That's quite big.
Yeah, I was thinking about this also.
Even now, if black does that, then white can play the hane on the outside hane.
Oh, this one? To force the empty triangle. It's interesting. Oh, this move looks very good.
And it's still not over, because if white jumps at any stage, so if black leaves this, white can play at 09 or at R7, and they're both problematic, threatening to get the stone out.
I agree. This looks very difficult to handle for you. It threatens to take the stone, plus it very clearly threatens to disconnect. My move does the same on top, very clearly threatens to take, but doesn't threaten to disconnect here. Time to see in KataGo again if our analysis is correct or not. Okay, I could start fighting here, but let's not. So attachment looks like it's losing 1 point, but this extension seems more correct. But if I play this squeeze, it wants to push. I don't understand really, because now this move is very nice for me, right? Yeah, so this would keep my advantage as it was before the variation. So it would be like even sequence. So this way, so all of the moves seems possible so far.
About 20 points ahead now, aren't you? Whatever.
Yes, actually after the squeeze here, when I play these very strong moves, I'm by 20 points ahead. So it should be quite comfortable, but after the game, I felt quite bad actually. I think it's like I'm 20 points ahead because KataGo sees a lot of aji on the left that we may not see.
We didn't see it, did we?
Yeah, maybe I'm ahead by little if I don't use the aji. So if I played this attachment, which looks like it's a good move, you should sacrifice the stone. Makes sense.
That top left-hand corner, the move at D18 and turquoise there, seemed better to me.
This one?
Because it seems to be attacking the white stones above slightly better.
Yes, but I think it's very similar because to this, yeah, you can also jump quite far. So sometimes you can attach and cut or hane, because now this stone is lonely. Whereas if you peep here, it's 2 stones. Yeah. So it has pros and cons. I think it really depends on situation. This would happen if I played the cool move, but I played not a good move. Now I should come back and just collect the 1 stone and just say, okay, I made some minus exchange. But I played this bad Atari. You played here. I should still cut, but as you pointed out, this was a mistake. Now you played here, and now I'm only ahead by 16 points. I lost like 3 points in this sequence.
There's all this stuff up on the left edge, D9, and the other move at C12. To separate my stones is sort of there all the time waiting to be done. White's definitely in the driving seat. You didn't take advantage of that.
Well, eventually I did. I feel like you have a lot of aji, and if I just play here and you protect it, so now you no longer have aji, but I get an extra move. Probably white is comfortable on territory. But actually I'm very surprised I only lost 3 points on the bottom right. Then I think my group here is alive. I have at least 1 eye here, half eye here, 1 half eye here, half eye here, so I can tenuki. So you peep, it's fine. Yeah, and so I think this makes sense from you. You just want to make a big box. I guess you were saying something like, go inside and I will kill you and I will win, no?
If I don't kill you inside, then I'll kill stones with nearly down to join. Yeah, I was pushed on the top now and started the big fight.
I was thinking you were going to just play some peaceful move, yeah, but probably it's too good for white.
No, that's not my style. I'm behind, so I had to fight all out at this stage.
I didn't know where to play. Should I play this one? Should I play B? Should I cut directly? And if I would know that my B group here is alive, then my choice would be much easier. So that's why I started to fight now, to find out what is the status of my group actually. Because if I live in center with these white stones, then maybe I can go to cut you here directly. So how to answer? I think this one is annoying.
Yes, I didn't see that. I was quite pleased with my honey, but your honey got me worried. I was thinking of playing Atari now. What do you do? If I push up now, it's my move. I push up there, yes.
I guess I answer.
My black stands at the top guy.
You get this Atari first, so it's not so big, the left side. I mean, I gained like 20 points.
Actually, hang on. Why do I play at 9? Why don't I jump instead of 9, play at J15?
Well, I think if you play here, I can also cut you, but now you have a remaining weakness.
I can push through, can't I, at G?
Oh, really?
Cut.
So I have to play here. So then there is no weakness there. You're right. Yeah, so maybe this way. I mean, the stones still die, right? But
not as big. Maybe I get some territory in the top right. Maybe it's harder for you to cut.
So actually, what I would do probably is I wouldn't capture this guy. And now I would be like, my group is alive, and I don't care about this point so much, and I would either play this double honey or play this cut. I would still think about it. And this would actually go kind of according to my plan. I lived on the left, so I can play strong on the right, but it doesn't mean it's especially good. Like the fight that's going to be here, it's a big one. It's not clear who will win this game. So maybe this one, yeah. So what else could I do? I could play here.
Oh, that's what I wanted, was this, yeah. Yeah, Atari again.
Yeah.
Atari again, Atari.
And now I just killed myself there, so I can't do this. I had to play what we discussed, just this one, yeah. And then after this, I cut you apart here, and I think now it gets really good for white.
I had two moves. I had the move at D6, and I had the move at D7. But first of all, I can play as I did at D10. D10 is center, isn't it?
This one. Yes. I can connect here, but you can connect over me, so I have to answer. But this is a little annoying for black also, that this Tesuji is here, so white can connect these two groups with this Tesuji. So it means these guys are very strong, kind of.
So I should have played it at B7.
But the problem with B7 is that I will answer here and destroy your eye in center, right?
Okay, so what happens if instead I play it at D?
Yeah. I think this is interesting, because you still kind of kept this one alive, so you can make the eye there. But again, I can probably just calm down and tenuki at this point.
So you think lower left, black is alive, you think?
It's very complicated, Sumego. I'm not sure. I would say so.
Yes, of course. Black has got an eye around D6, and he's got another eye on the left edge.
Yeah, so I think J2 is center.
It's definitely center. If you don't respond, I will kill you.
Basically, it means that this is an eye.
Yeah.
Also, so I guess this way it would be alive, yes. Actually, in the game, I worried a little. For example, now I wanted to play this Atari to destroy this eye in center. It's very important. But I thought at this point you would just leave the bottom stones and go for this one. And now I'm lacking one move in this area. So this is what I was afraid of. So I thought probably I should have played D6 a long, long time ago.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying, yes.
In the observer's chair, we thought that if black had played d6 earlier, there was enough time to create an eye on the side as well. And black could have worked on getting an eye on the side, and we thought that c10 was heavy. With d6 and a lighter move around the right-hand side, the group on the bottom left lived.
Move around where?
D6 gave you an eye and a connection. And then we thought earlier on, if you had played, instead of c10, played the Atari at d11, then you've got either an eye by cutting off the white stone or an eye on the right-hand side directly.
So where would black play next, like that? Yeah, then there.
You've got to have timed your d6, but then e9 gives you the eye on the side, and then d6 gives you the eye on the bottom.
Yeah, but if white now, instead of playing 4, white plays d6.
If white played 2, then you can play d6 immediately. You don't have to play 3 yet, because you can then play b7 to get an eye on the left-hand side. White can't get both moves.
But white will still manage to split black, right?
Oh yes, the problem is that black loses the stones at the top, but that's a lot less damaging than losing all the stones at the bottom.
And the ones at the top.
Yeah, this is maybe a possibility. But I think actually in the game we got a kind of similar situation, right? Because even now he can play here, and then later
But
have
then,
this eye.
but then you see, you haven't managed to get d6 in that variation. You usually put some pressure on white to have enough time to get d6 in.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to get it in very early.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. So let's see if the observers were right. Okay. Okay, I guess. Yeah, so my move would be way too soft. So good to push. So yeah, this is funny when this happens. So the whole game KataGo was saying you should play around this area. But the one time you actually play there, it's wrong. Yeah, so actually, so the whole game I should have played on the left side, but not at the moment I actually did it. So I'm a bit disappointed, but it's KataGo, come on, it's a good idea to play it.
We thought earlier on
Mhm.
that your move at d9 made things easier for black. We thought you should have just cut black off from underneath right away.
Doesn't work.
Yes, because there is this Tesuji. Maybe it's a bit confusing on this board with the numbers. We can take a look at it here. Yeah, so instead of this, if I play here, black can counter with this move.
If you play at f7 directly,
Doesn't work.
F7 directly.
and then you play at e6,
Atari.
yeah, and then you play at 7, create a false eye,
But you are in Atari.
Yeah,
that's okay, and then you play at f2.
Yeah, it's maybe not bad end game, but it's not what I came here for.
it's just the end game. If black plays Atari now, and white captures, black plays Atari, yeah, and now black, yeah. And,
You still haven't got the eyes on the bottom.
well, but then he's going to get eyes up at the top, isn't he?
Well, you've got there's a bit of a gap, along the line 12. I think black's still looking a bit shaky.
Yes,
After 14, the KataGo is sente for black. Won't likely black kill the 3 stones. I'm not sure it looks like it.
Well, but after 14, white plays there, but I think that you've still got an eye shortage problem on the left-hand side because of the various attacks that white can do.
This is promising, but at least black's groups are all going to live or die together. I would probably play 16 at 17 myself.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is,
And I
if
don't,
it works better.
I don't think it was going to do anything. But white's got odd placement moves like B12 and stuff like that might achieve something, but not quite enough, I would guess.
I think the idea is that white's best case scenario is if I can manage to split black here. If I manage to do that and he has to play on both sides, it's very difficult. Maybe this variation you're proposing is also possible for white, but now suddenly it's risky. If I make one small mistake and he lives, then I just gain nothing from this whole attack, actually. That's why I prefer to keep this Aji and combine it with this Aji here, and this way some wombo combo and split. That's my idea.
Yes, I see the eye skill, but I didn't realise how tight it might be if whites were able to play successfully in the middle of that edge. Let's say B12 and get the white stone to live there. That would be really awful for royal black.
You mean still at this point?
Yeah, well, or even B12 or C12. If white can play it at B12 or C12 and it lives.
It's still gonna be tough for black. Yeah, I agree. But it's also scary for white now.
Yeah.
And what's important is that I didn't reinforce my stones at all here. So let's check. So I think we analyzed this quite a lot. So we can check. So you could have played from the other side and just sacrifice. Look at that.
Okay, let's just look at that carefully. 1,
Just connect. So basically you solve your top group.
2, 3, okay, 4, 5, 6, 7 to disconnect, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, after that 14, it's going to look a bit difficult, I must say. That a bit more hopeful. But that's an awful lot of points you're giving away there. 1, 2.
Yes. Actually, my plan was to play this 13, to play on the second line, not directly in. KataGo, after a while, found Good move. I'm joking, of course. So it looks like the bottom stones are actually not so interesting. It's only 130 points. And you get the Atari at 4. That's really huge. So I guess that's why KataGo didn't want to play this combination for white now, because Atari at 4 is just too big. So that's why I should have answered.
Yeah.
And why you should have given it away.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, so after this, you could play from top, but I would cut. Then I plan to, okay, so this is just easy for you, but I plan to extend.
And that doesn't work.
You will underconnect. It's cool. So if I just go out like this, so you would underconnect. But then I would cut here, because I would feel alive. So yeah, so this is something I was hoping for.
Once you're strong with those stones at the center left there, you can do that cut without worries, because you're going to shred my position now.
Yeah, I would hope so, but KataGo thinks you caught up a little, so it's only 14 points now. But now it's like real 14 points, because the Aji here was clarified. Yeah, so this looks like good move, this Hane. I didn't realize it. So I could block, but then you can Hane, and it's cool for the connection. But this is getting too complicated. So you could have played from top and just underconnected. And after this one, maybe play like this, and then to this.
It likes the other one. Sorry, it likes the other one, like the Atari.
So here, this is what our fans said, right? To play this one.
Yeah.
But it seems it's not working so well.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, but I guess now it's really tough choices only for black. So after this, so we said connect here, but actually you can play like this. And again, but it's the same idea. You sacrifice everything.
Yeah.
Or not. It looks dead, no? So you sacrifice. I think probably after this it's too difficult. And once I split here, I think I just played very safe, just connected. We can just go through KataGo fast if there was something we missed. But I think this was quite straightforward.
Yeah, this is all game over now. I get each group half alive, and then I finally decide it's not worth it.
It's classic.
You should definitely have played that one you did, didn't you? F1.
It's better for liberties in the capturing race.
No.
I think it still leads to death.
I was quite pleased with the Hane as M2, but of course it doesn't work.
It's like you made it to a semi-AI, but I think I have too many options on the bottom right. Yeah, but so I think it was actually quite an exciting game, at least for me.
I managed to kill 2 of my groups, so that's the triumph. Normally I just let one of them die at most. Many thanks, that was very enjoyable.